Oh, baby, that's a buzzer beater. Pascal Siakam. Oh, that shot was real spicy there at the very end. Raptors scare us quite often in this game. However, they come away with the 111-109 victory over the Phoenix Suns. And look, anybody who's going to sit here and tell me, well, that's not a good game. Was it? No, it really wasn't. Just blatantly obvious. However, you won the game. The Raptors now pick up their 34th victory of the year. They're 34-13, and no Kawhi Leonard in the game today. Initially, we expected to see no Kawhi Leonard, no Kyle Lowry as well. Instead, Kyle Lowry does play, and this game was stressful right from the get-go. Early on, the Raptors dominated. We saw this in Boston yesterday. Raptors dominate the first quarter in every aspect. They outscore the Phoenix Suns 32-20. The defense was on point. They were making their shots. You got a 12-point lead after one quarter play. You're in great shape. Second quarter wasn't as bad as the Boston game. However, the Phoenix Suns were +4 in that quarter, and that 12-point lead drops to 8 at the half. That's okay, though. You have an 8-point lead at the half. I'll take it. But the problem is back-to-backs, and I know the Raptors have been very good at back-to-backs this year. What we saw, what you're always scared of seeing on back-to-backs is the second half. Because, look, the first half, all right, you had the night to refresh, and now you get out flying there in the game. However, in that second half, you now start to feel the back-to-backs on your shoulders. Third quarter, the Raptors feel that. The Raptors are -9 in the third quarter, 29-20, and are down by 1 heading into the fourth. That's not the way you want to look going into the fourth quarter. And it's a kind of a back and forth game there in the fourth quarter until, Serge Ibaka makes a big hook shot with about 40-something seconds left to put the Raptors up by 2. And then Mikal Bridges gets fouled. I think it was Bridges. Anyways, the Villanova product. And he gets fouled, and he makes his 2 free throws. So the Raptors have 13 seconds, I think it is, to get the last shot off and win the game, or go to overtime. Now, we've seen Danny Green take a couple of these last-second shots. We've obviously seen Kawhi Leonard take a few of those. Now, ideally, Kawhi's not here, so you'd assume Danny Green's taking the shot. And Lowry starts the dribble and hands it off to Siakam, and him and Bridges are mano-a-mano. And I'm thinking, Siakam's taking the shot. Okay, let's see what happens here. And he waits and waits till about 4 or 5 seconds left, and drives hard on Bridges. And he eventually gets the help, but Siakam gets it right to the glass and in right as the buzzer goes off. And the Raptors with the walk-off victory. You heard me say it. They're Raptor fans, Jays fans, or whoever's watching. And the Raptors find a way to come out with the 111-109 victory. Look, was it a grinded-out game? Was it a pretty game? No. But it's the second night of a back-to-back. You're at home. You just had an emotional loss against the Boston Celtics yesterday. And you do not have Kawhi Leonard in the lineup. Plus, you don't shoot the ball that great. Raptors only shot 50% from the field. But again, the three-point shot, still an issue. 7 for 28 in the game today. Now, who made those 7 threes? Well, I'm going to forget about everybody and go all the way down to list to C.J. Miles. This guy has been ghost for quite some time with an injury. He's also been quite ghost when being healthy. But he comes in the game today, and if he was healthy, we expected him to kind of get into the game. And he does something we haven't seen all year long, really. Maybe sprinkle one game here and there. CJ plays 17 minutes and gives you 13 points on 5 of 7 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3. He gives you a steal, and he was a +5 on the floor. What? If we can see that consistently, maybe not as efficient, but something along those lines, he'll be playing every game. But the problem is, he hasn't been consistent, and that's been the issue. Now, problem early on in the game today, though, guys, was second chance points. And obviously with JV out still, And DeAndre Ayton, he's a massive man underneath the basket. He had 15 points, 16 rebounds in the game today. You knew he was going to be a problem. And he was. Especially early on. I think they had 16 second chance points in the first quarter and a bit. It was crazy. But you know what? The Raptors found a way. And I know we're going to sit here and break down how bad this game was and how the Raptors barely won. But in the end, they actually won the game. So it's a win. Period. Now let's break down some players here. Siakam with a double-double, 10 points, 12 boards, obviously including that game winner. Danny Green with 9 points and 3 of 6 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3. He had a steal in the game today. And Serge Ibaka in back-to-back games with 22 points. He has 22 points and 7 rebounds today, 11 of 19 shooting. He only takes 1 3, misses it, but he takes 1 3, and that's fine by me. He was 11 of 19 shooting. Fred VanVleet, this guy confuses me, man. He really does. Because yesterday he had a goose egg on the board and looked nowhere to be found. Now, ideally, the Celtics are a lot better than the Phoenix Suns are. But today he racked up 15 points. He had 4 assists as well on 6 of 11 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3. He didn't look half bad. Now he was a -7 on the floor, but he gave you 15 points. We haven't seen that in a while from Fred. Lowry gives you 16 points. However, he did shoot 4 of 15, 6 of 9 from the free throw line, and 2 of 10 from 3. He did get you 2 steals and was +11. But there's one play in this game that I want to zone in on Kyle Lowry. Now, has he been not great lately? Yeah. I'm not going to beat around the bush. That we all know that. But in that fourth quarter, I forgot who it was, dished it to Chris Boucher. It might have even been him. And Boucher goes up for the dunk and gets pushed by Josh Jackson. I think it was Josh Jackson or Justin Jackson. I don't know which one that is. I think it's Josh, isn't it? Yeah, Josh Jackson of the Phoenix Suns. Now, he already had a technical for throwing his mouth guard, so this guy's already in not good books. And Kyle Lowry, right as it happens, he's running down the floor yelling, "Are you nuts? It's a flagrant." He's all over the refs about this. They got to take a look at it. They do. They flagrant. Josh Jackson, say ya, bud. You're gone. Toast. Have a good night. Now, I'm not saying if Lowry didn't freak out, would they have called it a flagrant? I'm not so sure about that. I mean, I don't know. Nick Nurse might have been up the rear end about it as well. But seeing Kyle be there for his guys and knowing what it takes to win and seeing that play for what it was and instantly getting up in the ref's face about that. Look, Raptor fans, you got to give the guy credit. You have to in some way. Because at that point, you make those and it's a 4-point game. You know, you have a 4-point lead at that point. It's a big spot in the game. Now, again, I do want to see him start to shoot better because that's been an issue. As much as he's great on the floor, off the floor, and he's a great, talker and he's a great facilitator, that's great. You still got to have a shot, and he really hasn't had that lately. Norm Powell, guys, only had 4 points in the game today. However, I really like what I see from him on a day-to-day basis. He was a +7 on the floor today. DeLon Wright with double digits. He had 10 on 4 of 5 shooting, and then quite a few nifty maneuvers there from DeLon Wright. And we already talked about CJ Miles. And Moose, another very productive game. 11 minutes. He had 9 points and 5 rebounds on 4 of 7 shooting. I mean, Moose has continuously shown me that he's been fantastic. And we see a little bit of Patrick McCaw for the first time. And yeah, I don't know if I want to see that again. He doesn't get a point. He misses a shot. He gets 1 rebound in 6 minutes. And he's a -10 on the floor. I'm not sure that's a great debut. But thanks for coming out. I mean, that's really all I got to say about that. Chris Boucher, 1 of 3 shooting. He misses 1 3 that he took. And again, still a raw player. I really want to see a little bit more out of Chris Boucher. I want to see more of him as well. But in the end, guys, it's a Raptor win. And do they play their great game? No. They shoot 50% from the field. That's great. You still don't shoot the 3 well. You're 72% from the free throw line. A little bit down. The rebounds, you're -6. Offensive glass, you're -4. Assists, and I know people are going to say, well, Kawhi Leonard not in the lineup, you get that assist total up because Lowry, look, anyone who bashes Kawhi at this point is stupid. The Raptors had 27 assists today. That's a lot. 27 assists on 43 made field goals. That's a great job. 8 steals to their 9, 7 blocks to their 8. Raptors had 14 turnovers in the game today, so a little too high, but I mean, again, it's not something that's going to kill you on a game-to-game basis. Second chance points, as I said, was a big factor. Ended up being 24-10. in favor of the Phoenix Suns. So not a number that you want to see. But in the end, I'll say it again, it's a win, people. You get a victory. You get win number 34 on the year. Enjoy it. Don't try and dig deep and say that, oh, the Phoenix Suns, you should have smashed them. Don't give me that garbage, because you know what? Does it matter at this point? You won the game. I'm enjoying it. Let's all enjoy it. Have a beer over it. Do what you need to do. Next game for the Toronto Raptors, guys, goes on Saturday night as the Raptors welcome in the Memphis Grizzlies to Scotiabank Arena, another team that you should beat. The Grizzlies had a great start to their year, but they have fallen off hard. They're 19-25. They've lost 3 straight. They're 1-9 in their last 10. They're coming into Toronto. Kawhi will be in the lineup because it's not a back-to-back. Take care of business, guys. They got to do a job there, and then they play on, Tuesday against Sacramento at home. A good team, but again, the Raptors still should win that game. So let's take it one game at a time, guys, as the Raptors take on Memphis there on Saturday night. I think I'm assuming it's 7:30 tip-off. Yes, it is at Scotiabank Arena. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed this video, and you guys enjoyed the victory there today. Smack that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below, guys, what you think of the game. Who's your MVP in the game today? I want to give it to Serge, but Spicy P was pretty damn good. Obviously, with the buzzer beater at the end, that was pretty sweet. CJ Miles was pretty... Guys, who's your player of the game in this one? I got to give it to Serge, though. He was fantastic right from the get-go, and obviously played a great game on both sides of the basketball, as he always does, this year at least. Who's your player of the game in this one, guys? What are your expectations toward that Memphis game? Also, what are your thoughts towards this team as of right now? And what is it? Evan and I will talk to you guys podcast edition. If you guys did not hear the podcast today, links are in the description for the podcast channel and for the podcast itself on iTunes, guys. So the links are down in the description for that, for the podcast channel and all that great stuff. Go follow up, guys. Do all that great stuff when it comes to that. And as for Twitter, follow up as well. Send me a DM. Do all that great stuff, guys. The links are in the description for all that stuff. And I will talk to you guys Leafs edition very shortly as they beat the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight. We're going to get into that in a little bit. And as for the Raptors, guys, like we said, they will take on the Memphis Grizzlies at Scotiabank Arena Saturday night, 7:30 tip-off. Raps look for their second straight victory. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll talk to you guys then.